Well, good wet Monday morning to you. It is our Monday morning live edition of Healthy Living South Mississippi. Live healthy, be healthy with Doctors Jim and Janine Fox, Doctors Nutrition, located on Cowan Road in Gulfport. Bad storms came through this morning.
Rough weather.
I know a lot of us moved on out of here. I hope you fared well through the storm. I know there's a lot of high wind and everything, and some lightning hits, maybe some electrical problems. I know we had some problems with being on and off the air. So hopefully you're seeing this morning. We'll let you know right off now that starting this week, the program will not be rebroadcast on Fridays. So this is it.
Yep, just on Mondays.
Tune in on Mondays where it's live. You can call in 896-0713, 800-349-0713. Ask the doctors questions regarding the topic of the day or anything in particular that you'd like to talk about. Talking today about New Year's resolutions.
Yes.
Everybody makes them.
The infamous thing.
Very few keep them.
Yeah, a lot of people break them before it even hits New Year's.
Exactly. Or the day after New Year's, they say, well,
very long.
I'll start next week. But and the thing is we one of the biggest ones is always getting in better health, better shape.
Yes.
Exercising more, which is something that in the long run is great for our longevity of our lives.
Exactly.
And it's better for us. But there's a lot of different things that we can do.
There is.
The big thing I think that we see every year, and I think if you read any of the stats on it, people tend to make really big, great, grand, and glorious resolutions. I'm going to run a Boston Marathon. Well, have you ever walked around the block? And that's what's usually the problem, is they haven't. And all of a sudden now they're going to, go out and try to run the Boston Marathon. Probably not the best idea. Get it reasonable. Like I say, if you're going to, and I think exercise is great. We suggest it for everybody, but start slow.
And if you break it, you can start back.
Yes.
It's not like people say, oh, I've already messed it up, so I'm done.
Go
ahead and start back.
And I'll be honest, a few months ago, I had gotten in with a personal trainer because I would go to the gym and I just kind of go through the motions and everything. I thought, okay, I'm doing good. But then I got with a personal trainer for about 4 or 5 of, private sessions, kicked my butt.
Yes.
And it made me realize this is what working out is about, and it made me feel good about what I was doing. And I was noticing, and I stayed with that, and was noticing changes, results, and everything. And even Kim was noticing that. But then I pulled a back muscle, and which is very, very painful. And I was out for like 7 weeks that I couldn't. And it just takes some time for that to heal. And now it's just been so hard for me to get back into it.
Yeah, it is. And like I say, one of the biggies is we want to get healthy. Okay, one of the first things we're going to suggest, if you probably watched the show enough, we're going to suggest do some lab work, find out where are you. Where's your starting point? Because if you're starting out in good shape, that's one thing. But if you've got some underlying problems that need to be addressed first, you could easily be overwhelmed just simply because your health isn't quite up to par to begin with.
Right, and you want to get overall healthy. It's not just about weight loss. It's not just about, everybody says, I want to lose weight. Of course, that's a big one.
That's a huge one.
But if you start doing everything right and you're not losing, people get frustrated.
Right.
And say, forget it. That's what you see more than anything is people say, well, I'm just going to eat what I want. Well, then they just get worse and worse. Then they gain. And
there's no such thing as a quick fix pill out there or a diet pill out there that's going to.
Nope. We have people all the time walk in and say, "What do you got for fat burning? What do you got for the And I always
try this
tell them,
diet.
Yeah, you got to change your diet first.
We don't like to use that word.
Lifestyle
change.
Right.
Lifestyle change.
Because it's obviously a lifestyle.
Yeah.
You have to look at if you're overweight and you're out of shape and everything else, you have to stop and think, okay, why am I overweight and out of shape? It's because of my lifestyle. So I have to change my lifestyle. I'm going to have to change everything. How I work, how I live, how I eat, how I sleep, everything. And exercise included.
Okay. I think we have a caller on the line, Dick from North Biloxi. Good morning, Dick.
Good morning.
Morning.
My question is, do you have products or herbs that aid or assist with quitting smoking?
Yes, we used to have one that worked really well, and someone bought it and took it off the market. So it was somebody bought the patent and it's gone.
Well.
Not sure who
and
did
it was
that,
probably because it worked too well. It really did work. But there's some things that help. Now I can say that other one made you just stop. The stuff we have now kind of helps. And what it does is it increases serotonin to the brain, so it makes you not crave things as much. So there's things that help the cravings.
And that's the biggest thing,
Yeah.
Dick. You know, if you obviously if you've been a smoker or dipper or chewer or whatever, you know, you crave that nicotine, and there's a part of your brain where that happens. And there's things that you can do like the Dopa Boost and so on, and 5-HTP, things that you can do that'll help tremendously. But you're still going to have, you know,
It's still going to take you really wanting to do it, and it still takes a lot of willpower.
It does.
But I think you need to do it, because I think that's one of the most important things is to stop smoking for your health.
Certainly is.
Or use of any kind of tobacco.
Right.
Unfortunately,
you know, it really is. Phone lines are open. You can call to talk to us live at 896-0713 or 800-349-0713. And you're talking about lab work. I mean, it's a great starting point because you need to find what all's going inside of you.
Yeah.
Right.
Because, you know, you might think, well, I'm on this medication, this medication, this medication. Maybe it's a quick fix and we'll take care of it. Not necessarily.
Yeah.
I mean, you might but just be hiding the problem.
Could very well be just kind of masking it, and we see that a lot. You know, where the folks are doing something and it's just kind of masking the problem, and so they don't even realize that they've got an underlying problem. And obviously, that's something you need to find out. And that's why we stress doing the lab work so hard.
Because you might have you might be have high blood pressure, or high cholesterol, but there may be some deficiencies in certain vitamins or minerals in your
Yes.
body.
That's always a possibility, right?
That you know, like which is what I found that when I did my lab work. I mean, there
Vitamin
was
D, for instance, yeah.
vitamin D, and
Especially this time of the year. I mean, of course, so many people are deficient in vitamin D this time of the year, which is why people...
and one of the things y'all put me on, the 80K2.
Yes.
Right.
Yep.
Exactly.
And when it comes to vitamin D, like we've talked about before, you need the A to activate the D, and
Right.
you need the K2 to be able to utilize the D.
Right.
And you want the D to go to the right spot. You don't want to just start laying down calcium and plaque. You want to actually increase bone density. You want it to get into the cells, so you want it to do what it's supposed to do. So it is important with vitamin D to take A and K2 with it.
And one of the things we tell you all the time, please do not go to the big box stores, have somebody say, oh, you need some vitamin A, and go buy, because a majority of the time, those that you're buying there, yes, they're less expensive, but they got so many fillers and all kinds of
They
stuff
do.
in them.
You just
that
never know.
You never know what you're going to get.
Sometimes it shocks me when people bring things in, and some of the things they're putting in supplements
Really?
that is harmful to you. It's like it's
Red dyes
chemicals,
and- yeah.
and I'm like, why would you put this in there? Unless it was a big company that really doesn't care about health, they just want to sell something. And so
Exactly.
you do
That's
have to
why you
look,
get it so
have
cheap.
to look at what you're buying. Yes.
That's right.
Yeah.
Exactly. So it's best if you do come in to Doctor's Nutrition and pay a little bit more, but you're going to benefit so much more.
Now, on many things, I just wanted to point out, you don't pay more.
I know, and I was even going to say that. I was going to say that a lot of stuff they have.
So many times you look, and the other things that look cheaper have real low milligrams. So you have to take a whole bunch of them to equal one of ours. And if you took as many to equal ours, it costs more. So a lot of times you don't save money either. You think you do.
After the break, we're going to be answering more questions about your health. Phone lines are open, so you can call and talk to us live at 896-0713, 800-349-0713. Let's hear about your New Year's resolution. And welcome back to our Monday morning live edition of Healthy Living South Mississippi. Live healthy, be healthy with Drs. Jim and Janine Fox of Doctor's Nutrition. They're located on Cowan Road in Gulfport, south of Pass Road. They will be there Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday of this week. Thursday, Friday, through the weekend, they will be closed.
Yes.
Yeah.
Until Monday.
Until next year.
We let our employees off some too, because people always say, "Well, how come y'all are closed so many days?" Well, they want time with their family too. So
Sure.
we give everybody a little time this time of the year. So we are off this week, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. So
Well,
we
there
will
you
not,
go.
but we'll be there Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Now
10.
we will be there Monday and Tuesday.
So today and tomorrow.
Dr. May will be there on Wednesday.
right.
Yes.
Okay. We're answering questions about your health, New Year's resolutions. Phone lines are open, 896-0713, 800-349-0713. One of the things also very key, we mentioned lifestyle change.
Yes.
And that's changing your eating habits.
I
mean, it's such a big thing. I mean, I saw so many people, I've seen different things on TV or online saying, well, first month, cut out sugars. Next month, cut out this. Next month, cut out this. Why not cut a little bit of all of it out when you start
Well,
off?
I think one of the best things you can do, if you think about it, is go to real food. I mean, that's kind of one of the diets that we tell people, or lifestyle
what we
changes,
stress, yeah.
is if nothing else, go to real food. Cut out the packaged processed foods, and you are right there helping a lot of the problems.
In other words, go to the grocery store, go around the perimeter, out the front.
Right.
So leave that middle section alone.
Middle section gone.
Right.
And you're, because you're going to get real fruits and vegetables. You're going to get meats. You're going to
Right.
get your dairy. and then back out to front
And
door.
if you want a snack or something, you have to make it.
Yeah.
Thing is, if you cook everything from scratch, you're less likely to eat as much of it, and
That's
you're less likely
that's
to
true.
make as much. You know, it's just not so convenient. And so people go buy all the packaged processed foods, and it's so convenient just to munch on it all the time.
Yeah.
So you really need to go to a real food
Right.
diet.
That's
Yeah,
It would
true.
be one of the first steps to make.
You know, of course, if you go, you're talking about vegetables, you know, get fresh vegetables, or you know,
Exactly.
or if you have to, at least frozen vegetables. Don't get canned vegetables.
If you can possibly do without it, yeah. And if you do, try to get the organic stuff.
If
I
you
mean,
do,
if you
yeah.
do, you know, you can get the organic vegetables now in cans and stuff. And if you have to, yeah.
It's
But
always better with fresh.
Yeah, it's always better fresh. You know, it's you know, coming up on New Year's, and of course, well, what's your New Year's resolutions? You got to have, you know, things for certain foods,
Right.
and one of which is cabbage.
Yeah.
For your money.
Yeah, I
Okay.
already have instructions to pick up cabbage.
We
for
already
New
got
Year's.
ours. Well, we
Black-eyed
always have
peas.
cabbage
Oh,
anyway.
yeah.
That's one of his favorite foods is cabbage.
No, we
So
love it too.
eat
I got
lots
a
of
bunch
cabbage.
growing outside now. So and you got your black-eyed peas,
Right,
for luck,
right.
I think it is, and then of course cornbread. Now we make a cornbread a little differently.
It's
real-
grain-free.
It's grain-free. It's actually made out of.
It's made
what's
out
it?
of almond meal
yeah.
and garbanzo bean flour. So
You'd swear it was cornmeal.
it really, yeah, it is good. So, but you know, everybody go out and get your New Year's, and you can actually cook all that healthy.
And that's real food.
yeah, it's
Yeah.
real food.
Okay. Cecilia of Socia is on the phone this morning. Good morning, Cecilia. Cecilia?
Are you there?
Yes.
Oh,
Okay.
good
First
morning.
question.
Yes, sir. I was wondering if your ADK supplement helped with nervousness.
Not
Not
particularly. That's not
particularly.
a D is not, or any of those are not particularly good for the nervousness. Now there are things like, you know, it could be anything from something like 5-HTP, tyrosine's another one that we use.
Cortisol
immediately.
soothe,
Cortisol soothe.
theanine, kava. We have a lot of things for nervousness, but the ADK2, vitamin D deficiency, when you have that, one of the symptoms that you have is usually aching all over and tired all the time.
Mm-hmm.
That's some of the biggest symptoms that you see with vitamin D deficiency and osteoporosis. So the
No, my vitamin D is good. As a matter of fact, you people,
Okay.
you took blood work here back in the summer,
Okay.
and my D
Okay.
is wonderful.
Okay, well
Okay,
then that's
good.
not your problem. So you do have to think about what, you know, and sometimes nervousness doesn't always show up on lab work either. And sometimes you have to try different things and see what works for you. So we do have a lot of different supplements for nervousness.
Yeah, I strongly recommend the 5-HTP.
Yeah, well,
I,
and
from
t-
personal,
I was going to say,
yeah.
usually what we'll do, Cecilia, is we'll give you a sample. If you come in the store, we'll give you some samples, let you try things for a day or two, and we'll find what's best for you.
Okay.
Okay?
Okay.
That sounds good.
Wonderful.
All right. Bye-bye.
Thank
Thanks,
you.
Cecilia. But yeah, getting back to you know, our diet, that's one of the things
Oh,
that I mean, and
yeah.
unfortunately, Mississippi is the worst when it comes to not eating
I think
properly.
I think we're
But we
50.
have so many great things that are right there at our fingertips. I mean, look at fresh seafood.
all the fresh seafood.
Seafood, yeah.
That's why I tell
That's
people all
great.
the time that we live in an area that is so abundant in seafood, and so many people don't go take advantage of it. I mean,
Yeah.
I talk to people every day that have not been to the local seafood markets, and I tell them, go in there, ask them what just came in locally. They'll tell you.
They'll tell you.
Yeah.
You know, if you go to your seafood markets, you know, and that's one of the really nice things about it, living where we live. We had on our radio show, we had Dr. Lauren Cordain. He did the paleo diet. He said, "Oh my God, you live right there on
You
the
live
coast.
in the best
Yeah.
place there
Yeah,
is.
best
to
place
live.
in the world.
Yeah, he really
All that
was.
fresh seafood, you know.
Yeah.
It really is good.
All right, Gene from Gulfport is on the phone with us with a question about fish oil. Good morning, Gene.
Gene, are you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
There you
Okay,
go.
what's your question?
I got a question about fish oil.
Okay.
I'm just kind of curious about how good it is. I'm late 40s and I'm going into 50s, and I was told that fish oil is good for cardio and things of that nature, and I'm just trying to get some more feedback on it.
It's actually good for the cardiovascular system, and it's good for the brain as well. I mean, part of the omega-3 fish oil, you got two really good omega-3s in there. That's the EPA and the DHA. EPA is really a great anti-inflammatory, which is good for the cardiovascular system.
Also for joints.
Also for joints, yeah. So it's an anti-inflammatory.
And as you hit your 40s, sometimes
Yeah,
that starts being an
happens
issue.
when
Yeah.
you know, as we mature. But then when you get into the DHA, 25% of your brain is made up of DHA, which is docosahexaenoic acid. Can't go wrong there. So it's
Yeah,
great
as
for.
long-
I mean, even if somebody says, "Well, gee, I'm healthy, I don't need it." Oh, yes, you do.
Now you do want to look for a fish oil that's higher in the EPA and DHA. There's different strengths of fish oil.
Oh, yeah.
So that's always an issue too, and look for a good clean source. The smaller the fish, the actual less contaminants that's normally in it.
We use a lot of like sardines, anchovies.
Ours are anchovies is what it comes from because it's small and doesn't have a lot of the mercury. And then it's cold distilled on top of that. So it's cold distilled to remove any contaminants because you can get contaminated fish oil too.
And sometimes you buy that fish oil and it just, I mean, it doesn't taste right. The omega-3 that they have that I take, no problem.
Well, we also have lemon oil with ours in order to cut the fishiness.
Yeah.
So it actually comes from small fish. It's cold distilled. It's the highest grade that you can get. It's one of the highest EPA and DHA you can get. And so it does make a difference what type of fish oil you get. But fish oil overall, unless you're allergic to it, is probably good for most people.
Yeah.
Good for what ails you.
It is.
There you go.
The only thing is if you're on blood thinners, you got to be a little careful because it does thin the blood a little bit, which is good for most people to thin the blood a little bit. But if you're already on a blood thinner, you just have to be careful with fish oil.
All right. Thanks for the call, Gene.
Thanks, Gene.
896-0713, 800-349-0713. Our phone lines are open to you. If you have a question for the doctors regarding our subject today of, what kind of New Year's resolution that you have. We'll be back in just a moment with this week's special as well.
Okay.
And welcome back to our final segment this morning, Healthy Living South Mississippi, our live edition, Live Healthy, Be Healthy with Drs. Jim and Janine Fox and Doctors Nutrition on Cowan Road in Gulfport, south of Pass Road. The offices are open 10 to 5, Monday through Friday. This week they're only open Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Excuse me, the doctors will be there Monday and Tuesday. Dr. Mays will be there on Wednesday.
Yes.
Be there on Wednesday, right.
So, question, Ross from Wiggins says his New Year's resolution is to eat healthier. But that can be a challenge. He often eats fast food because of the convenience and price. Finding inexpensive alternatives is a challenge. What do you recommend for someone on a budget?
That is a challenge. There's no doubt about it. But you can do it. If you get, for instance, one of the big problems that people have for convenience or fast or needing something fast is they'll go to the fast food place. Now, we've got folks that do that, and we tell them, okay, if you have to do it, there are better choices even there.
Right.
For instance, you can eat the hamburger and the lettuce and tomatoes and things like that and just don't do the bun. That's much healthier. Don't do the soda. Get water. Okay, they're not going to like you for that, but still, get water because that's much healthier because every time you eat a soda or drink a soda with a meal, you're adding, anywhere from 400 to 500 calories if you're not careful. So just, making healthy choices like that.
But another thing is I have a lot of people tell me that, I hear that a lot is I can't afford to eat healthier. Well, actually it's cheaper if you're going to cook it yourself and not go to fast food restaurants. Nowadays, fast food, you're still going to spend $5. You can easily get a pack of chicken and some vegetables that'll feed you maybe 3 or 4 meals. And it's cheaper. So I do tell people it's really not more expensive to cook it yourself, and it really isn't. It does take more time, no doubt. It takes time, but it's not that it's really cheaper.
We spend the weekends sometimes, like Saturdays and Sundays,
cooking all day.
Cooking. Yeah, and but you cook stuff, you put it in the fridge, and then you've got it. It's a leftover you can carry with you, and pretty much anybody can do that.
As a whole, another thing, there's another tip. People eat too much. That's one thing that can be a lot of people's resolution out there is maybe eat less of what you're eating. People eat too much. So when you do make chicken, you don't eat 2 full pieces. When I cook for us, we eat a half a piece of chicken. We don't eat a whole piece of chicken. So
we'll do that.
It really is cutting down on portions because as a whole, we eat too much.
Well, you can buy chicken. We usually buy the packs of chicken breast, boneless chicken breast, and then I split them up and freeze them, and then I will bake 2 in the oven, and we'll eat like half of one, and then along with some vegetables, we got leftover for lunch for the next day.
That's what we do.
Something like that,
and
cooking fresh vegetables enough that you have some for dinner, then you got some leftover for lunch for the next day.
So you can do it less expensive. You really can. And when you start adding the crab meat and the seafood and the shrimp, you're going to spend a little bit more. So you don't have to do that. There's all, that you can do, and I do like making some of the crab meat toppings and things like that, but you don't have to, and you can make a meal less expensive and still eat healthy.
And, for some of the snacks, real fruit, for instance, an apple. Now, an apple by itself, okay, you get kind of tired of that. What about some nut butter on it? Take a sliced apple, and a lot of people do that. They'll slice it, put it in a little thing. You can stick it in the fridge where you're at work, or put it in your cooler and carry it with you. And then you can break out the nut butter, whether it's peanut butter or something, and you've got a pretty healthy little snack.
Another caller on has called in. Herma from Long Beach says her doctor tells her that her bones are getting thin Do you have a product to help with that?
Definitely.
Actually, the ADK that we just
the
talked about.
ADK2 that we talked about is one thing that we've used really good with, for bone density. We've also have another product we've used along with the ADK2, and it's called Ostenol. And it's a bone morphogenic protein. It's one that you don't see often, but it is sold through doctors, and it's actually really good for bone density. We've even had women in their 70s and 80s increase bone density.
Wow.
So it doesn't just maintain, it can actually help build. So on the ADK2, you want to check your D level to see if you need that high of a dose because it is 5,000 D. But we used to use D by itself years ago, and it did not help the bone density the way it does with K2. We've seen a huge difference in people's bone density since we've added that product.
The research came out about the A and the D and the K2 working synergistically together. And when we did, that's when we put the product together. And it, most people, I mean, probably 95% of the people or more can easily use 5,000 a day.
Yes.
Once in a while, you run into somebody that can't quite take that much, and that's why you want to have it checked, Herman. But once you've determined that and you watch that D level, that'll tell you how you're doing. And, we'll tell you how to do some little exercises.
Yeah, another thing is weight-bearing exercise for bone density.
Excellent.
That could be another thing that you say to add this year for your resolution.
And even if you're just walking, they've got these weight vests that you actually put little weights in it, and you can start out slow. And that way you're actually increasing the weight, that your body carries, and just doing something as simple as walking. Great thing.
All right.
We should probably get to our special real quick.
Yeah.
Before the end of the show. Do you want to?
Okay.
Or,
I was going to say,
okay. Megabytes Lean, and it's 25% off. And we put that one on sale because it's a multivitamin that pretty much just about everybody can use. Even though it's lean, it has stuff in it for blood sugar control, but it's also a great multi, and it even contains the K2 that we talk about. It contains K2 as well, and it's our only multi that contains K2, and most multis do not. It has all kind of antioxidants. It has 2,000 vitamin D, so it's good overall health, and that's why we put it this week.
Right.
Okay. Ella from Gulfport's on the phone. Good morning, Ella. You have a question for the doctors?
Yes, I do. Good morning. How are you?
Good morning.
Good. Very good. I have to assist my mom with inflammation in the body, and I want to know what foods are good for that.
The nightshade foods are the ones to kind of stay away from, and that's your tomatoes and your peppers, eggplant. Those are the biggies.
And then your good foods are a lot of your spices.
Yes.
Your garlic, your ginger, fish.
Right.
Yeah.
Fish protein.
Fish protein, because it has the omega-3 fatty acids, which is an anti-inflammatory. So a lot of your spices are anti-inflammatory, even turmeric. It's a great anti-inflammatory. So a lot of your anti-inflammatories are a lot of your spices, but also fish. And getting away from the nightshade plants are known as being inflammatory, which is tomatoes, unfortunately. Tomatoes, potatoes, eggplant, peppers are known to increase inflation. And sugar. Sugar is one of the worst inflammatory foods you can eat.
Sugar's bad for you every way around.
And that is all over our diet.
It is. Now grains are also inflammatory too. So your
breads,
wheat, your corn, and your all that's inflammatory. So you're better off with like lean meat and vegetables and lots of those good spices for inflammation.
Oh, wonderful. Thank you, guys.
Okay.
You all are fabulous.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you very much. Okay. All right, next week.
Oh, we're going to
next week. No, next week's open line.
Is it next week open line?
No.
Yeah.
I thought it was. Is it the first Monday?
Yes, it
is. Yeah, it is the first Monday.
These weeks are okay.
Like, y'all are off.
We just show up.
Thank you. Yeah, we just show up. She has to direct everything and keep it straight, though. So
she keeps it straight.
Next week will be our open line Monday. We do that the first Monday of the month. So we will be accepting your phone calls on anything in particular that you want to talk about regarding your health, how to, especially, if we want to continue on with this, a new healthy lifestyle in 2016.
Right.
So hope you have a happy new year. Be safe. Don't drink and drive. We'll see you next week, next year.
We'll see you next week.